Oh, we didn't see you come in. Welcome to the Ultralight Gear Podcast. I'm Paul.
And I'm Josh. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome.
That's the word of the day.
We did it. Welcome. We love you. You're special people.
And today
we're going to discuss some topics. Yeah, so just a few.
end.
That's it. Topics discussed. I just want to go over GoLite. They used to have one of my favorite packs back in the day, and then they kind of disappeared, and now a lot of people don't know they're trying to make it back, and we'll cover that. And I've talked to a few people about traveling in 2020 and what it's like.
We've done some ourselves.
I don't know. I feel like I picked a trail that was intentionally secluded this year.
Me too.
Yeah, that's how
we met on this show.
Amazing. And
you were the only. I mean, you and those two other hikers that you were with.
Yeah.
Those are the only people we saw that day. I mean,
really?
A lot of days we've been
out of that
people.
whole trip. Did you met more people?
We ran into a pair of hunters.
Nice.
On the way in, we ran into a husband and wife and their dog, and they were from like the Turner Valley, Black Diamond area.
Oh, nice area.
Yeah. Turner Valley.
Nice.
And we also ran into a guy when we were leaving the trail who was setting up to hike, and it was past so for you it would have been before the blowdown. So just past that blowdown for me heading south, or just before the blowdown, you walk along a quad track. So we ran into a guy there.
Okay, yeah. I think I know.
Like the big blowdown.
I think I know the area you're thinking of, at least. I don't know.
Did you go through that, the just logs on top of logs for
I made a weird route through it, around it.
Well, we could have cut it, but we had the first little mini blowdown for us because we were going the opposite direction, and we were Sobo, and we went and had us route around, and then we were stuck. And it was fun though because
did you cliffed off or?
No, I mean it was just in the bottom of the valley, and it was just up either end.
Damn.
And so we just crawled over. We took a shortcut through it still. We found a better route, but than what the original trail was. But it was cool because the bears can get into the Saskatoons, and so we had a lot of berries. I discovered that picking them with your hands is not as efficient as doing it the way that the bears do, which is just kind of use your lips to pull them off. You can delicately pull the berries without yanking the leaves.
I don't know. I feel like I have a strategy with raspberries and huckleberries and stuff, just grabbing light enough. If it doesn't come off easy enough,
then
it's not good enough.
That makes sense too. Yeah, because you don't want to be killing babies,
and you don't want tart.
Sometimes tart's nice though.
Okay, that's
true. If you're really parched, tartness is actually more pleasurable.
Really, is it a fact?
I'm not going to say it's a fact, but I'm pretty sure I read it from a piece of. It was taken away from research. Yeah, it's just,
I don't doubt it.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
I don't research the effectiveness of different flavors on athletic performance anymore. But I used to. Not as a researcher. I would just try to find the research and dig through it. But because I would make my own energy drinks or sports drinks, we'll say. Made pretty much almost everything that I use for my 24 hours.
Wow.
I made my own drinks. They weren't that great, but they worked.
Yeah. If you have the right percentages of what you need, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bodybuilders amaze me and how they I'm having this much protein and this much this. And I'm like, oh man, for me in my athletic career, I feel like I just kind of ate as much as I could and went,
But you're doing long-term, solid state, sustained activity has very different needs. And, getting as much in as possible, you're really focused on getting in sources of energy. that you can use, the rest of it kind of balances out. You want to kind of keep protein consistent day by day. You don't want your diurnal cycle to be kind of thrown out of whack. So you want to keep, if you are going to be moderate to high protein, like say you might want to have anywhere from 1 to 2 grams of protein. Like this is a huge window, but 1 to 2 grams of protein per every pound of body weight. Then you want to keep it consistent. Like if you're fluctuating too much, then your body may need to pull more resources from what makes up the structures of the gut, for example, or your immune system.
Yeah.
And if you have too much and you're not used to it, then your nitrogen goes way up in the urine and you pass a lot of gas, and it's best to kind of be consistent. It's interesting that all the studies that say you only need so much protein don't take into account people that have high protein diets that have been sustained over long term, or they'll throw the people out of whack. So there's a little bit of research out there, and I can't remember who does it, but there's a really good book by Lyle McDonalds called The Protein Book, and it's basically a textbook about protein. And Dr. Brian Schofield, he also does a lot of current research on the topic. So these are people that you want to look at.
Hell yeah. I mean, there's a lot of proteins.
But when you're through hiking,
it's insane.
You don't need to worry about it that much as long as you're getting something. Like you don't want to just have, sorry, Andy, glucose powder. I
mean, you can, but you shouldn't.
Well, I've done things where I've had basically protein, fats, and carbohydrate in a certain ratio, and that was basically all I would use to sustain myself through the day.
I mean, I met the fastest known time, Anish, and when I talked to her, she like ate a lot of like sweets and gummies and stuff, and I was kind of like, whoa, really? Like, I don't know.
It's okay if you're eating it high, because you need a ton
50
of
miles
calories
a day. I mean, yeah, you need I guess I get that, because I feel like when I'm hiking, I eat 6 to 10,000 calories, but usually around 8,000, which is like,
that's a lot.
It's a lot, and
it's hard for the body to bring in that much.
I like eat double the most, like what most hikers do, and I've seen now that I've gotten a bit older, now I'm around 6,000 instead of 8,000, which is really nice. It's like, I don't know, it's way lighter, I've noticed, which is nice to have my metabolism slow down a bit. But I don't know, I find myself a little bit slower too, so that's
performance endurance sports, like ultra endurance sports, and that I'm going to consider through hiking an ultra endurance sport, because you know what, you can walk an ultra,
dude. I walk double ultras every day.
You can walk an ultra and place, so like it's a viable strategy.
Oh yeah, no.
So I mean, the deal is when you're really pushing it over the period of 3 meal periods, like essentially performance becomes a eating competition. But your body, your activity limits how much you can bring in per hour typically. So you need to, and
I never thought of it that way before.
What you want to do is you want to think of it as trying to bring in as much nutrients that your body can actually absorb per hour. And I mean, I forget the figure, but it's something like 60 to 75 grams. I mean, there's a formula for how much you weigh, for how many grams of carbohydrate you can absorb in an hour. And
makes sense to me. I mean,
and if you go above that, I mean, you also have to worry about dissolved solids. So if you're being really hard, like say you're actually like holding a massively difficult pace and your heart rate's up, like you may not be able to bring in, you might not be able to eat solid foods without getting indigestion. And that's something that can be pushed with a little bit of training. But so 8% dissolved solids is a really safe zone for like, say you're climbing. Say you're climbing for the next 2-3 hours. You might not want to go. You might want to try to have liquid calories or gels in water, and try to keep that dissolved solids below 8%, because otherwise you might find yourself with some indigestion, not having enough blood supply to the gut because it's in your extremities.
Yeah, I that makes sense to me. I mean, I know, like, I hike and eat. Like, I don't stop. I'm one of those people. Unless I'm with people. If I'm hanging out, I'm hiking with other people. It's totally
different when you're with other people.
Yeah, it's totally different. I'm a different hiker altogether. And
depends who you're with.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm one of the hikers. I feel like a very versatile hiker. Like, I can do 40 miles every day if I want to. But like if I find like people that I really like, I like meeting new people, so I just hang out with them, and
it gets lonely otherwise. So like I would even do that. I would even do that racing, like so it'd be like I would do a race, and then it would be like, this is on a skateboard, but long distance stuff. We did that weird kooks. But so I would do the race, and we would go, and then I would, 1 year I would totally establish myself as dominant and like have a course record. But it was so goddamn boring because it would be like a 3-day event or something like that. And so, so then I got a little criticism from a couple guys. It was just like, you got to stop with this buddy stuff, like skating with people and talking to them and getting to know them, and like
what?
You just need to crush these people.
Yeah, you destroy them, and I was mentally, just like, man, physically.
Yeah, but it's just such a drag to do that every single race, man. And then I liked racing Jeff and Kiefer because they would keep me like they would keep me company, and I didn't have to kind of hold back at all, which was nice. But
yeah, that does sound nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like long distance longboarding, I feel like it's extra lonely because like not many people longboard really. I feel like,
All right. Yeah, no, you're right.
Like in general, you know what I mean?
It was pretty popular in 2000, like I was saying earlier, 2010.
Yeah, it is a constant cycle of up and down, I see that on I'm on a cycling subreddit, and some guy released a bar graph of like the Google searches for bikes. Yep. And it's like a, classic.
It's a sine wave. Often, I mean,
classic sine wave. And yeah, longboarding does that too. But I mean, I feel like your years, it was like shooting straight up into popularity.
Yeah, we were doing pretty good. I mean, I remember people being like, it's not cool, right? And I was like, dude, I've been doing this way before anyone thought it was cool. So yeah, I could tell you all about it. Like, so anyways,
another thing I want to talk about is some Canadian laws. I don't know if anyone's from Canada.
Yeah.
If everyone's ever bought a tent here in Canada, they might know about it. They might not. I just want to make people aware, really. Some of the crazy old laws that we have in Canada that have never been updated surrounding tents and different fabrics of tents and flame resistance of tents, and how different charges we get. So pretty much we get 25% on anything coming into Canada that's not a flame retardant tent, which is pretty much everything. Like you get any Big Angus tent, any mech tent, actually I heard mech actually does a flame retardant coating on their tents to avoid that charge.
That's sweet. Yeah, it's a surcharge.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if
it's
the coating,
like a tariff.
I don't know if the coating is actually like the cost of doing the coating is cheaper than paying the tariff. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's a silly rule to have it in Canada to say that our tents need to be flame retardant. I mean, I just don't.
It depends on the use. So here's the deal. Like so a lot of people burnt themselves alive inside of tents in the 1970s in Canada. And I mean, we use tents in Canada in the winter. And when you're doing in the winter, the hot tents were all the rage back then. And they would have lanterns or stoves or sometimes even open flame like inside of their tent. And these tents were often made out of waxed cotton canvas. All right. There's your first. There's your second strike. If the flame is the first.
And this is where fabrics come in eventually.
Yeah, this is exactly where it comes in. So in 1988, if I remember correctly, this is going back for me, but I believe it was 1988. The Canadian government were tired of people like shrink wrapping themselves or like being buried under multiple layers of burning cotton waxed canvas. And so they passed legislation that put tariffs on it and actually barred the sale of certain things. And I mean, it's based for, primarily like people ice fishing, wanting a warm ice fishing hut made of like a single pole style tent. And I mean, we still use those today here in the armed forces.
And I feel like that's the last time that these laws have been updated was when...
88.
Was when these ice fishing, when the major shift from, people started living in more houses, obviously, and then.
Well, I mean, we were living in houses, but
yeah, I just mean people were using less tents, less expansionism, more building up cities at this point,
Yeah, and I mean, like, the 80s is when we started kind of the modern era of outdoor gear too, right? That's where plastics were the big thing. I mean, they were pretty popular in the 80s.
They're still very popular.
I mean, they were popular in the 60s. You put plastic on your sofas and stuff like that. But
yeah.
But anyway, so we started getting we're reissuing patterns from the 80s, like outdoor gear companies. It's what's old is new again. But so anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that what we have here, like, we can't purchase, for example, a PTFE shelter unless it's classified as a bivvy, and we actually have rules that classify what constitutes a bivvy. So if your bivvy bag is too high with a hoop, or if your tent is not low enough, you don't get to use some of these like really modern fabrics. And it's not just PTFE, but for example, that's just an example. Because I remember I used to sell like RAB event tents, and I was like, how are we able to sell this? And my boss was like, technically it's like 1/4 inch lower than what could be classified as a bivvy. So as long as they call it a bivvy, and RAB knew to do this, as long as they do that, we can sell it. And it's so low that no one in the right mind is going to use the stove or whatever. But like, it's pretty, I mean, it's coming back again, but
hot tents are coming back again.
For sure they are. Yeah. But aside from that, like, it's most people cook away from camp. And I like to cook before, like, a nice time, and then I like to finish my hike afterwards. Personally, I'm one of those. But so anyway, we have this weird law. What do you want to? Yeah,
I was just gonna say it also applies to tents. So you have a tent. You can also get a tarp, which falls out of the tent category.
It's a shelter.
Yeah, and I ordered a Mountain Laurel Designs Shoots tarp with like the internet. So it's pretty. I mean, once you clip them in, it's a double walled tent. But because it's a tarp and they're sold separately, you can actually avoid this charge. So if you do buy a tarp online, if you're considering a tarp or a tent as a Canadian, and you're wondering, if you have more budget conscious, but you still want something light, keep that in mind, because, and with sleeping bags too, you get 25% for down products over a certain weight or something like that. So, didn't recognize that one. Be careful of that one. I bought a Montbell Plasma 1000 parka, and it was like $500 Canadian, then I paid $200 in duties. So that was nice. It was like 180, but I don't know. It's like a $700 jacket at that point to me versus like a $450 jacket to an American. You know what I mean? It's almost doubles the price. I don't know. I kind of want to talk about this. I heard about this like a few years ago, and then a few Facebook groups popped up. But I don't know if anyone knew this guy named Mostly Harmless. He started hiking the Appalachian Trail southbound in 2017. And they ended up finding his body. I don't know. When did they find it? End of the year? 2018. Yeah. They found the body. 2 hikers found the body in Florida. He just kept hiking past the Appalachian Trail, kept hiking down, and he died. It's really weird. A lot of people said a lot of good things about him. Honestly, if your trail name is Mostly Harmless, I'm already confused. So, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess it could go both ways.
It's either like hilariously and sarcastic and really good, or like he's actually serious. And do you want to roll it? It's a 50-50, I feel like. I don't know. I don't know.
We probably shouldn't be making too much light about it, but
no. I mean, honestly, a lot of the things he did before he started hiking is not good. He was abusing his girlfriend. He wasn't a good person. I mean, no one knew that at the time. He became a better person on the trail, is what I've heard on a lot of accounts. Lots of traillanders who've met him, told really nice stories about him. And I don't know, he hit the trail. He had some gear, and he had a lot of money in gear, not great gear, shitty gear. I mean, medium gear. Gear.
Jesus, we don't
Medium
need
gear. You give him medium gear. And,
I feel we can give him a pass here.
Well. This is a podcast
this is what
about
we talk about
gear.
Yes, but
and
we're not here to critique the gear.
He started off like most AT hikers do, very rough, just like me. Big backpack, no experience, kind of dumb, just like me. Perfect. His first trail name was Jeans because some guy gave him some jeans. He started like really late. It was like February or something, you know. So like, or started really early, I should say.
That's a great trail name.
I know, right? But yeah. So they called him Jeans for a while, and then a few months later became Mostly Harmless. We don't really know the story about where Mostly Harmless came from.
If you know, write in.
Yeah, if you do, I mean,
you must have a pretty extensive friend network because
there's the Facebook group like that was trying to find who he was. It was a mystery before, and so they were intense. I mean, they eventually found him through DNA, and so there's some private company they ended up securing a bit of his DNA, sending up to this private company, and some random girl on a podcast named Kristine Gill. She did a 3-part podcast actually about Mostly Harmless, and you should go check that out. I'll send a link in below. It's incredible if you want to see the full details of that. Like, it's honestly how they tracked him down, where they found him, everything. It's kind of a crazy story, and I found it after a few months, and I joined the Facebook groups, and I was really interested in finding out who he was, because in the beginning it was all nice things that were being said about him, and they were just trying to find his family, and I thought he just had a nice family out there, and it'd be a shame if they didn't know what happened to him. So I don't know. It ended up.
Did they find the family?
Yeah, they ended up finding him. He ended up being estranged from him. I think his dad passed away, and he grew up with his mom, and then he started abusing his mom, and then he left and started abusing his girlfriend once he turned 21, and then. Yeah, and then he just he was a programmer, and he made a bunch of money. He made like a back-end system. I heard that he was a programmer, yes. Yeah, he made a back-end system for some website that made him a bunch of money, and he was. Yeah,
he died with a bunch of.
We only had like $2,000 left, but he he was traveling for 2 years, so
he had a bunch of code on him.
Yeah, no, he used to write these coding challenges and jokes. There's this website that he used to go on to, and there's just coding challenges and stuff like that, and he used to post on there. It was some kind of, and he played some other programming video game. I forgot what it was called. It was like a text-based programming video game, really nerdy.
Oh, cool.
But and that turned out they eventually getting clues about him because he gave little drops of Timbits. He had a notebook with him that he kept, and it was a lot of that, like little programming humor, really super boring. But
you can speak to that more than I, but
no.
I dabbled when I was younger. But
my dad was a programmer, and ended up learning when I was 13, and I know a bunch of languages, but I hate it now. I absolutely hate it.
I was right into VB. I made video games on Visual Basic, and
dude, that was awesome back in the day. Are you kidding me?
And I haven't used a PC since I stopped. Since I finished up my last course on that, so I've just been on Mac, so it's totally useless.
Whoa!
I guess I can probably make a mean spreadsheet if I actually wanted to.
Make a sick flowchart, all right?
Yeah. Right.
That's what you need for
great
programming.
Inventory thing for. I did a bike shop inventory for a class project because I was really into bikes.
Bike inventory?
Bike inventory spreadsheet management thing. Yeah, that's what I made for
it's so nerdy
for a programming thing. Yeah, that was
my god.
But it was fun.
No, it was good.
Yeah,
good database.
Lots of
skills.
Easter eggs that made fun of my instructor, so hidden throughout the code.
That's good. Yeah. I love good comments. That's what really programming is about. Good comments. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
If you don't comment and program, I hate you. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
Don't want to see that code.
Control us in the comments of your favorite.
Your favorite platform, probably YouTube. Love you guys.
But it has to be in the code.
Oh no!
You gotta crack the code.
No,
you get the source code, and then you can.
They're gonna send algorithms that I need to figure out to get a message. It's fuck, what is this? And the message is gonna be you suck. He's not wrong.
The algorithm is being mean.
That's what I love about the ultralight subreddit is like all these spreadsheets. It's like, here's every backpack. I'm like, yeah, dude, I was just gonna make this list. This is great.
Spreadsheets are great when you're trying to actually like get to the bottom of a purchase decision. I mean, at the same time, you can also get carried away with certain specs where sometimes usability maybe isn't represented in the data.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. A big beef I have with what you just said is like rain jackets. I find how they test rain jackets is they like tape a part down in a tube and they measure the air pressure,
of water,
and the pressure and like. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't like the testing method because like when you're outside, you're usually fucking soaked for like an hour in rain and like I don't know. It's just like. It's different conditions, and I feel like the the water rating is not very representative of what you might actually get. It might be like this is 20,000 kmm, and you get it, and it's like leaking after an hour, and you get another one that's like a 10,000 mm, and it's fine for like 7 hours, and you're like, what does this mean? Like where do they get these numbers? You know?
Well, we know where they get the
numbers.
I know. But
what is the standardization behind getting these numbers? And I know,
there's
and I know like sleeping pads just had like a revolution. They finally came with a nice formula to figure out the R value because every company was doing their own R value math. So it was ridiculous. Like I don't know, and you'll see that if you have an older like Thermarest, it'll be actually lower than the new standard. The new rating system actually ranks them higher than what they were rating themselves as.
Well, that was an interesting tactic that a few brands, Western Mountaineering was famous for having their stuff be warmer than other people when stacked up against other companies. They would intentionally overstuff stuff, and then it would be, but keep the rating the same. And
I don't know if we've talked about this on air, but how I have a beef with them.
I mean,
all their packs are 2 ounces lighter. I actually went to my MEC or REI if you're American, and I measured all those bags there, and they're all 2 ounces heavier than the manufacturer claimed weight.
I bought one
2 ounces on the dot too. It's not even like off by a bit. They're all like that. It bugs me.
I mean, I can look at my numbers here, but
Is it a 20 degree? It claims a 32 ounce, but it's actually a 34.
Yeah. Well, I think what they did is they measured one, and it was this weight. But I mean, I
don't know.
I've had really good experiences with them when they've been on weight. But I mean,
they're warm.
They're very well made. They're really good quality. But like, I purchased one of their new quilts, and it was heavier because they changed the face fabric just in time for the production run that I purchased. Now I understand.
Which was it?
This is the Nano Light. I mean, yay! It's more durable. I should be happy. It's infinitely more breathable because it doesn't have the acrylic membrane. I was happy with it being not as breathable and taking on more moisture. I just wanted it light.
Yep.
I was like, if I need to, I can put a plastic bag. I would put a garbage bag around my legs to keep me from sweating into the feet. That's one of the things that I do. It's not comfortable. But
it's warmer.
It's warmer. It's just clammy. But I mean, I've survived some nights in the Andes by doing that, but with a large bag. But so it's a
do you use it as like a pack liner?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. I love it.
Like I used to use like an SOS style aluminized plastic bag, and I would just fold it and use it as my pack liner. And then I would sleep in it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then in just my underwear, and then I would put my jackets over top of me and have my really crappy. Okay, it wasn't crappy, but it was not what it should have been. I brought like a Marmot pounder to Peru.
Okay.
And so when we were sleeping at like 4,300 meters, like no, I think the highest we slept was 4,127 meters.
Still, I mean, that's pretty high.
That's pretty high. That's
like 11,000 feet.
That's higher than Everest Base Camp. So by a decent amount. By roughly 500, by half a kilometer of elevation. It was not enough, but I was intending on that, and I woke up frosty, and it was great. Like,
You're fine?
Oh yeah, I was fine.
Good.
I just shivered, but shivering keeps you warm. So.
It's true.
So anyway, I got this bag, and it weighs more, and I was pretty upset about that. And I wrote to them, and I was like, just at least tell us, man. Like, I was totally cool with using that bag until the acrylic kiss lightened up the way it has on my other one, and I would be happy with it. For me, weight was more mission critical. I mean, maybe not all the time.
Yeah.
But if it's something I really need to consider, I'm willing to make other preparations, you'd say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway. But yeah, like I was super disappointed in them, and I was like, really, I mean, I've recommended so many people to their highlight over the years. So many people, like probably a good amount after the long treks thing, like not even, and
wow.
Indirectly, and a lot of people directly. So
yeah, I've almost wanted to get sponsored on the trail because
I wasn't sponsored by them, but
no, I know. But I mean, I almost want to get sponsored because I don't know, when I'm going down the trail, I love hyping up gear and talking about people and talking about things. And I don't know. I feel like when you're on the trail, the conversation gets dominated by gear.
Yep.
Dominated. And
for sure.
This is kind of what I wanted the podcast for, is when you're like hiking alone, but you still have that on your mind, and you
still want to talk gear.
You still want to talk gear. Not bored to talk gear talk yet for some reason. I don't know why.
We should implement a longer pause so people can just yell out to them to the trees what their response. You guys are full of crap.
Honestly, a lot of things. I feel like backpacking is a very personal preference thing, and we are the fast and light crowd. And that's what we want to do and specialize in.
And our preferences don't apply to everybody.
Yeah, and if you don't like that, that's fine. Don't stress about it at all. I hate people who are like, think I don't party or hang out with people because I'm a fast hiker. And it's like, no.
No, we don't party because we're prudes.
That's why. No, I party every so often. I just find alcohol really kills your athletic performance over time.
Yeah.
It especially for long
I didn't
distance.
drink when I was racing.
No,
I mean, I got really drunk once on a podium because I was super dehydrated. It
was,
was like my retirement race. Oh no, it was like a bottle of Jack Daniels. I did not remember the entire journey from like Oregon back to Vancouver. I didn't remember a thing. But apparently it was very eventful.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, it was like, I am done racing. I am now an alcoholic today. Sorry, trigger warning. Alcoholics. I don't actually like to drink to where I have control issues, but
I don't know. When I first started drinking, I was out of control. But now everything's fine. I don't even like drinking anymore. It upsets my stomach all the time. I hate it.
Yeah.
I have a weird...
Just for the podcast.
Yep. No, I drink every night. I like drinking with social events, It's fine. It's just my stomach. I have some weird stomach problems, and they've just gotten worse over the years. And it hates alcohol. If I drink one, it's like, it's just so mad. Not my stomach, I guess my intestines. My intestines are so mad.
It can be a rough start to the day, too, the next day. Like, even if you're not... So here's the thing. It's like when you're actually doing things and you've developed a bit of body awareness from doing activities and learning how little subtle changes in fueling or food intake can affect your day or the day after or the week after.
Yeah,
you become sensitive. I mean, you can, if you take some time off, then you go back to it, you can become very sensitive to how even like, I mean, I can even feel a can the next day if I don't ace the rest of my nutrition after I have it. Like, I can feel it the next day. Like, I mean, it's so tiny, the effect that one has, but nonetheless, it's a big deal when it comes to an athletic endeavor or trail life. Like,
I feel
it's fun to it's fun to do it every once in a while, but I feel like
there's two. I feel like there's three groups on the trail. There's in the beginning the beginning is always a party. It doesn't matter what. Like, it's new, it's fresh, you're excited. It's a party. I don't know. every start of the long trail, like a traditional start date, you're going to have lots of people partying on you every town. And then as you go on, like after the halfway point, you don't see any of those people anymore. Actually, it's like they kind of, I don't know. You can't party every town, so it's like every 2 to 3.
Someone's gonna come pipe up to dispute this claim.
That's true. No, there is. I mean, like the real hiking Viking, amazing.
But yeah,
He can do whatever he wants. But I mean, damn, he can do whatever he wants. Fuck yeah.
That's up to you. You hike your own hike.
No, if your body can do it, do it. Don't let other people shame you.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
I'm not here to tell people to. You just make sure that you're good with what you're doing.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people poo-poo on me. Like when they see an ultralighter on the trail for the first time, small backpack. They're confused, offended.
You guys out for the weekend?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know.
Get that one a lot.
I don't know. I just like, I don't know. And people are always so amazed.
You're staying out overnight?
What? You have a tent, sleeping bag, and a stove in there? No, you gotta show me. I don't believe you. I don't know. I like it because I understand exactly where they're coming from. I did the exact same thing, and I kind of just love being on the other side of the fence for once. I'm the lint.
The lint and Vaseline. That's my trail name.
Yeah, they call me Vass for short. Oh no.
Speaking of alcohol, no, I'm joking.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I was straight edge when I was a kid. Like after, okay, no, not true. I mean, I joined the army. I did some drinking, and then I was just like, I don't really like this all that much. It's not what it's hyped up to be, and that's my opinion. But and I was never really a hardliner. But I decided just to sort of not do anything that wasn't hyper productive for me at the time. And then I started drinking just a little bit on rare social occasion, and that was sort of the most that I did through my racing situation. I was known as being like vegetarian. I didn't drink. People would be like, "Hey, want a beer?" And I'd be like, "No, thank you very much."
You're still a vegetarian now, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But I'd be really appreciative, and I just would abstain because I didn't want it to affect my recovery that week. I didn't want to feel funny. I was also like a control freak with my body. I feel that had something to do with the way that I approached observed bike trials when I used to do that too.
That's how you approach a lot of things in your life. A lot of hyper focus.
Yeah, hyper focus, and
that's what I like about you. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely can get along, or at least empathize with what the other person is dealing with when we're both succeeding and failing through hyper focus.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm better at turning it off most of the time. I can do it. I don't know. But the other half, I don't know. It's probably 80% of the time I'm fine. 20%, I just can't stop. It's not good. It's not healthy. Like I've described to you before, like an itch that I keep scratching and it just keeps scratching. It's not good. It's not healthy. Okay. It's
a compulsion. Yeah.
Yeah. And thankfully it does produce healthy results. Thankfully, I
mean, a lot of things can be bad behaviors, but be wielded in a way that's positive, like the ego. Egos can be really bad, but at the same time, I wouldn't have cared to try to prove myself in a way that was beneficial to me if it wasn't for a little bit of the ego. I mean, these things are like, ego is a perfect example because it's theorized to be a evolutionary survival tactic in a lot of ways, but it can run amok, left unchecked. So
I feel like our generation is the generation versus the old generation where it's more of a short-term thinking versus long-term thinking. It's like the market. We need to make short-term profit right now. We need to get these companies increasing profit forever, and we're at a point where we're realizing we can't do that anymore. Yeah, and that we need to.
Our generation is realizing that we can't do it. I mean, I feel like there have been plenty of people in other generations that have,
Mhm.
and
No.
previously, but
I just mean it's like I don't know, the technology and
mm,
globalization. I feel like we're becoming more one culture
mm,
slowly through the internet. And it's weird because I grew up in French immersion and I feel like I have a different personality in French than I do English. And
I've heard that that's a thing.
and I feel like that's with like every language. And I don't know. I just sometimes I'm curious about what will happen if the world become dominant English speakers and the internet will facilitate that and then we'll I don't know this one culture.
I think it'll be like Blade Runner.
It'll thank God Elon Musk made that Cybertruck. Like Blade Runner was not coming true before, but now Blade Runner is here. All right, like it's coming.
Yeah,
on the road soon. What do you think of the Cybertruck?
I think it's a good idea. Is it legal? That I can't say. But
street legal? No, not yet.
No, not at all.
Doesn't have mirrors on it.
I mean,
not street legal at all.
Is it too solid to be like considered a safe enough vehicle for pedestrians? But I mean,
that's a good question.
I think their approach is clever. I think using the chassis to be the structure and reducing the cost and weight and excess and waste and pollution of paint.
Multi-purpose. I love that.
It's electric. It'll filter your air.
It has an air compressor pump in it.
I think it looks cool. I
just like inflate your tires.
It reminds me of like a really crappy sort of Lamborghini look. You know what I mean? Like
the old school Lamborghini.
It reminds me of an 80s.
Yes, those box cars. No. Exactly. They remind me of that too, and I don't know. They remind me of like movies what we thought the future would look like, and it's just so exciting that
like we Robo-Jacks.
We have an eccentric billionaire to do it. I guess I don't know. I
mean, he's all over the place sometimes.
He is.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him because he doesn't want to take into account that he has this big platform now.
Well,
so he tries to pretend like he doesn't, but he does. So he
lives in an artificial world around his platform and the wealth that he has access to. I will say, like, he may not pay himself, but he has a lot of wealth and a ton of control. And I mean, I don't think people are really made to deal with that. And
I mean,
we're not talking about that gear right now. But
I don't know.
You can put your backpack in the back of the truck.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like the multi-purpose thing. I feel like that's very ultralight. Like, oh, it's the frame. It's also the body. It's all. It's like it feels right up the alley. I don't know. It feels like what I strive for in my next iteration of gear design.
Weight is crucial. I mean, they want a big, tough, burly thing, but they can't have it be in excess, or else then it can't tow itself around. And I mean, that's kind of the point of the ultralight thing too. For most people, some people it might just be a numbers game or whatever, but like I think ultimately when you feel the delight of moving around and prancing your way, I don't know, I'll speak for myself, prancing my way up a boulder garden, like towards a peak, like that is empowering and it's more joyful, but it's rooted in efficiency.
No, I think that's a really good take on it. I was assumed it to be like entropy. Like we're trying to
reduce.
We're trying to get to the smallest possible everything. I mean, I feel like how Cybertruck got there is the same thought process, is just because you do need to pare everything down. You do need to, I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of like it reminds me of the aerospace industry. Like, wonder why that is. you know, like I have a
I mean-
nephew who plays Kerbal Space Program, and I've been coaching him. He's like, "Yeah, I want to get. I just launched. I got 2 probes in orbit," and I'm like, "Dude, you need to get a relay in orbit too." And he's like, "Yeah, but they're too heavy." And I'm like, "Do you use all your fuel?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Why are you carrying all that extra fuel weight? You could probably carry 4 times the antennas if you just cut your fuel by like 10%." And he was like, "What?" So,
No, I love that game. It's such a good game. I don't know.
it's a good one.
My old computer didn't handle it well, but this new one does. So that's good.
Yeah.
So did you just get the Garmin InReach this year then? Like
No, this is
I
my
mean-
second year with an InReach.
nice.
And then I've been using spot trackers since 2008.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, they like sponsor most like the endurance long distance events now.
Yep. Yeah, like the Scram and oh no, sorry, nobody knows the Scram, but the Trans Am
Yes.
and the Scram. Like, okay, there's a site that you can apply to be on, and I think it costs a bit of money, but and then they rent out Spot. They're sponsored by Spot, and then they rent them out. And so the Scram, which was the skateboard race across America that did not happen because of COVID and because of insurance issues, because we're skateboarders and nobody believes that we can do what we do. So I mean, it didn't happen, which is probably good because I broke my leg, and I was still going to do it anyway. But and it would have been a disaster. But I bought a lot of gear for it. But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
so yeah, man, like it's a thing. I forget what we're talking about.
It's okay. It's okay. Are you gonna try to do it again next year or not? Maybe next year.
I'm not sure
Not. I guess this is under the next year. But
I'm not sure if the organizer is planning on
2022?
doing it.
Oh, wow.
I'm kind of toying with the idea of maybe putting on a shorter thing, like a tour to Alberta or something by skateboard, because
Yeah.
I think that
I feel like that.
I'd rather do it where there's less traffic.
Yes, that's fair. The we crossed a bike route. Well, it's fairly popular. I mean, not too much by car. Well,
I'm not worried about it.
It's
I've
medium.
done worse traffic
I don't know.
before.
When I biked across Canada, I hated it. That's how I became mostly a hiker, and that's only
It
because I've
makes
only
you
done.
angry.
And that's why on my next trip, I want to do a bike packing trip, like on gravel roads with a gravel bike
Yes.
with just that's what I want.
For sure. I mean, the problem is it's when you deal, all it takes is 1 or 2 people that you don't have to be bothering them. You can be out of the way. You can be on the shoulder. But out of the thousands of people that drive by you in a day, it just takes 1 or 2 of them in the day to be like, that person is inconveniencing me by being on the road and by not being what I expect, to really make you pretty mad for a long period of time. Because guess what? You have a fight or flight mechanism, right? And if you're pushing, you're doing the endurance activity for a long period of time, you're kind of just assuming fight mode. And anything else that comes into that environment is now, unless it's incredibly threatening, is just going to be treated as per fight mode. So that guy beeps at you and he's a jerk and he gives you the finger. You're getting mad about it, and you're my thing was part-timer. I have a class 1 driver's license. You don't. Pretty sure. And I've been on this road all goddamn day, and you are just out for a 30-minute drive, and I slowed you down a quarter of a second because you're scared that I'm on the shoulder, like, or because I got out of the way. I crossed the road to the other side of the road, but like I was at 200 meters away. I was in front of you. Therefore, I'm a threat. Like, and then that guy was, and then they'll say whatever when they drive by, but they're driving by. So like, I mean, they don't have to listen to any critique. It's a safe space.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that stuff, it just, when I'm in that fight mode, it just sticks with me a lot longer than it should. And
I'm with you on that one. And I'm a bike messenger here in Calgary, and
heck yes,
it I get that, I get that adrenaline rush, and I totally understand what you're saying, and just little things can like really set me off. I know now, I know what it is, and I just don't say anything. So someone makes me mad, I just don't say anything. It can be really awkward, actually, because I'll be in a situation where I should probably be replying to them because they're talking to me.
Yep.
But don't worry. And if all I'm going to reply is it's going to be mad, sometimes I just don't reply at all.
It's wise. It's wise. Although you also have to be careful not to internalize it in a negative way. Like, you know,
expand on that.
I mean, if you just pent up rage, like, you don't want an accidental release at some point.
That's true. Yeah, like, you're right about that. And
so it's good to be true to yourself. I find in situations like when you're on the trail or on the road. I
find them on the trail. I'm pretty peaceful, and that's why.
Well, that is the thing.
That's why I keep getting drawn back to the trail. That's how trail has taken over my life. I mean,
you'll still experience every friggin' emotion.
Oh no, for sure,
probably tons of fear, but
but it's a different kind. It's not being run over. It's being like stompled by a moose. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, and it's exactly moose, man.
Fucking
moose.
Be careful. Don't trust moose ever. All right.
I'm not a huge gamer, but that Long Dark game, it's like everyone's like, why is it the moose always kill you? Oh. And it's just like, man. Because moose are what are actually going to kill you. Like,
yeah.
You just run in between a guy and a doe like during the rut and see what happens.
And if you don't believe me, go to Newfoundland. All right, It's a beautiful place, but there's so many moose.
Bell Island.
A lot of wind, a lot of moose.
So Bell Island, Newfoundland is like a 3 by 9 mile island just off of off the cove of Portugal, kind of where St. John's is. And so we had a moose swim, like it's quite a long way actually, but swim out to that island. And so there was a moose named Belle for a while. And I don't know why I'm bringing that up. It's just something I think about every time because my family's from,
that's a great story because I know where those islands are. And I know how much that moose swam.
The moose, and it was like open ocean. Like dude,
no, for serious. If you fucking swim that far in one direction,
the waves are like
fucking
can
nuts.
be like 30 feet high. Like,
don't trust those
on
moose,
a rainy
all right?
Day. Maybe not 30 on a regular day, but I mean,
well, maybe.
My brother and I were able to jump a story. There's one time where we were on the ferry. We would just time it right, and we could jump up the entire flight of stairs. Like it was friggin' amazing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now, on to the important stuff. What happened to GoLite?
Oh. I remember when they were around the first time.
Do you remember?
I didn't realize, I didn't know what was going on. I just stopped seeing them.
In 2013 or 14, they tried to do this weird expanding where they wanted to be like REI. So they fucking just spread everywhere. They had stores everywhere.
I think we had some of their gear for sale in stores up here.
It was really good. I mean, it was... I don't know. It was like
I remember
for the price point, it was so good. Like ultralight gear at that time was non-existent, so it was hell
slim pickings.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the GoLite Jam 50, that was such a great pack.
Yes,
I don't know, and it was so cheap. It was like $150. It was so great.
That's why I never bought one. Is because I was suspicious of I
can't trust it. It's too cheap.
I'm like, why is it selling with the Sport Check brand backpack?
And instead of a mesh pocket like most brands do, it just had a school zipper, a zipper across. Yeah. And you know what? It was hype.
I mean, we know that's brilliant now, but we were like,
I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm onto the mesh because
running
it's
shoe
lighter.
material, or it'd be cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. What a great pack, and I don't know. I thought it was really great. It had small little light things, like a towel, shovel, just spoon, spork, whatever. It had a bunch of great stuff, super cheap. And I don't know, when they started to expand, they had these whole stores, but there just wasn't anything. And there was stuff in them, but they didn't have a huge, they had a big inventory, but not a huge inventory, which you need to fill a retail store. So I feel like it showed, when you go to REI, you have all these sections, boats, bikes, and shirts. I don't know. It's
easy when you have other brands to pull for other people's needs.
Yeah, and I feel like they lacked that diversity, and they were slowly expanding their products, which was nice. But they went too hard, too fast, and they ended up filing for bankruptcy in 2014. And
candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long, or something.
Yeah.
That's probably not how that saying goes.
I don't know, it's really sad too because they were like really eco-friendly. They actually did a lot of recycling and renewability, and like they they had like a B rating and an A+ rating, and like they were really good. They were one of the best, and I don't know. It's I don't know. I just heard they like relaunched in 2018. I never really heard about it, but it seems all their stuff is really bad.
Oh no,
it's really unfortunate.
It's a new ownership,
new owners, new people, same name.
I think
little bit different logo.
I think they're trying to keep going with what they feel the brand's mission was.
But they're focusing on clothing, and I'm like, dude,
they've got yoga ambassadors and stuff.
Give me the Jam 50. What the hell, dude? Do you not know?
No. We need a Jam 30 now. Because it's 2021.
Well, no, Jam 40, all right.
Oh, fine.
We gotta attract the most people we can while still being not true to ourselves.
I guess you can't sell everybody a fanny pack.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you can me, but not everybody.
Shoe storage. That's what's next. No, that would be terrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, the weight on the feet.
It's good. I mean, they did a study. I forget what year it was. I remember reading about it.
It was the U.S. military, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. They put like weight on their feet, weight on their knees, weight on their thighs, weight on their hips, weight on their like backs, shoulders, and like head, and they measured like the difference in like the performance like ability. And I don't know, it's really really interesting. And
if you can Google,
if you can Google it, I don't even know. I mean, I could find it, but obviously
we could link it.
We might link it,
but I mean, it's getting messy.
It might be here. It might not.
It's getting messy.
No, but
we'll be bushwhacking through those links.
Well, the first episode is all linked, so that's fine. So that'll be good. The second episode has like at least 3, so that's good.
Well, I brought 3.
All right, well, we got 6 at least. We're doing pretty good here.
We can't count. We don't know what's down there.
And we had like 7 topics, so that's pretty good,
Yep.
And that brings me to my final topic. I don't think you don't have one. Do you have Melazana hoodie?
I don't. I have been looking at their the lottery to try one out. I mean,
it's ridiculous. Well, not ridiculous. It's fine.
Like I was really into that fabric. I mean, like, geez, like 2007 or whenever it came out, and like, I was. I mean, is it a Polar Tech or?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, when that their grid fleece came out, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
So sick.
This is way better than my long underwear that I had.
Boy, I don't even need a puffy anymore.
No, man. So I had some Arcteryx piece that had on it, had that fabric. I don't know what happened. I mean, all my Arcteryx fleeces get stolen somehow.
Yeah, you have a lot of gear stolen.
Not really, just Arcteryx fleeces and
pieces.
And their Valence. I had a Valence shirt, which sucked because it was so expensive and so nice.
So nice. Damn, I love them.
But yeah,
I'm wearing my Arcteryx shirt right now, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I said Valence earlier, but I didn't mean Valence. Didn't have a Valence piece. I had their leaf. I had a leaf.
Oh, leaf.
A leaf piece.
Leaf piece. You'll have to put a correction in that video. Because that's a pretty big correction.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah, it is. It is a huge difference. Yeah. If you're not familiar with it, Arcteryx owns a military line of clothing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a huge Drake fan, you'll know.
Yeah, it's true. They're kind of a little bit harder to get pieces, but obviously you can get them.
I know a guy.
You gotta know a guy.
Medical supply down in Ogden, but
oh Lord,
we should talk about Arcteryx later.
Should we? You want to talk about the
not today?
The Alpha Anorak.
Ooh, I love Anoraks. I've almost brought up Anoraks when we were talking about Can we? I'm going to pull up a picture. You just keep talking. We were talking about things being like when you mentioned rain jackets earlier. What was that about? It was things being
how they like score the ratings, like how they measure the breathability and water permeability.
That's right. Yeah, you were talking, but the whole the point was that specs don't always take into account usability.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was gonna say like Anoraks, and now here's the thing. This is confusing, but I was gonna say Anoraks fall into that category because they look so great on paper, but they're so annoying to use. However, I love Anoraks, and they're my definite go-to. I buy more Anoraks than full zips, and I can't take them off while I'm wearing my backpack.
Yeah.
But you know, I can't open them up very much, but I don't care. I love them.
I
almost thought about taking my my Arcteryx Norvan SL and cutting the zipper in half and then freaking gluing it together, because there was no logical reason for it. I just wanted to be difficult.
I mean,
I love my Anorak.
Think of the 0.3 ounces you could have saved. Fuck it. I don't know. I'm just gonna talk about this for a second. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's seen it. Their new Arcteryx new 2021 spring line just came out, and
so we love Arcteryx because we're Canadians, and because because there's definite innovation, and you can't and people are often off-put. I find in the ultralight forums they're very much like Dead Bird. It's just paying for a bury end, but they're doing a lot of really interesting things. They are doing some outsourcing now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I still have a lot of made in Canada gear though.
Amber Sports just got sold to that Chinese company now, so it's actually majority owned by a Chinese company. Just quite recently, it was only 3 or 4 months ago. They couldn't sustain themselves during the pandemic, apparently. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, like the whole Amber Sports, the whole brand, you know, Arcteryx, Solomon, Louisiana Slugger, you know, like all of them. So I don't know. It kind of weird to me to see this new lineup this year, because it has been kind of traditional Arcteryx update in a way, but I feel like the price points are a little bit different than what Arcteryx would normally do. So,
I mean, we're still talking big bucks for
most people. Shit ton of money. This
not accessible for the majority, probably.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm probably gonna buy this jacket.
But I mean, this is what you do. You put all your resources towards these things. Like
I mean, I'm gonna do a crazy trip, so
I'm like this too. I bought a Norvan SL to use for a single race. Like I intended it for it to last a month and a half.
That's all I need you for. After that, everything is just
It's been great. I just can't.
Honestly, I'm always surprised by the weirdest of gear. I'm like, I don't like wind pants. It's like, wait, no, I love wind pants. Like, I don't like wind jackets. Like, no, wait, I actually like this way more. I don't know. It's just things I'm like.
Yeah, sometimes when the things on paper don't match up.
There's some things I think I'm gonna like too. It's like
usability.
I'm like, oh, the rain skirt. I'm like, that's gonna be great. And I'm like, wait. You know what? It is nice and easy to put on, but I don't really like it that much.
I like my rain skirt that I made, but I don't like rain pants all that much. But guess what? I can't use the rain skirt when I'm doing my skateboarding stuff. That doesn't make any sense.
That's
like
true.
A crotch sale.
I don't know.
And all the water, you don't get wet from rain falling on you when you're skateboarding in the rain. You get wet from the water coming up. You get probably 3 times as much rain splashing up from your wheels than you do landing on top of your head. So you can, so your legs, your groin, your face is getting soaked from the ground up. So so the skirt is not going to do anything. And so I mean, yeah. So I used my rain pants that I bought 4 years ago for the first time, in October, when it rained the entire friggin' 2 weeks.
What rain pants did you have? Just some kind of.
Oh, they were the OR, like outdoor research.
Helium.
Yeah, helium pants.
Nice.
I've wanted those helium pants since 2010.
Nice.
And I finally bought them before I did the North Coast Trail maybe 3 years ago, and ended up making my girlfriend's gear was too heavy, like her load was too much, and she had these big heavy ski pants, and I was like, there's no friggin' way. And so I made her a rain skirt.
Nice.
And when I made her the rain skirt, I was like, why don't I just do one of those instead of rain? Like, I mean, I just bought these pants for this trip, but I was like, but if I make a rain skirt, if I do this just right, it'll weigh close to 30 to 40 grams. It was 36 grams with a zipper, Dyneema, and it works friggin' great. It's bespoke, and
sick.
You guys know DIY. MYOG, so it's all bespoke. But
yeah,
man, like So I've been kind of like, do I get rid of these pants? But I knew I would need them, and I needed them in the fall. But I like that skirt, man. I don't have to stop walking to put it on, and that's my thing. I have like size 12.5 feet, so putting my shoes or boots through rain pants, I need zippers going all the way up, and that ain't lightweight.
Yeah, no, I have the Montbell VersaLite rain pants, but they're baggy enough that I can fit them with my Ultra Lone Peaks. I can do it.
Yeah. I love Montbell stuff.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I was gonna say.
For as long as I've known them,
Helium
they've
2
been so on
outdoor
point.
research is good.
Yeah.
But if you're on the fence, go for the Montbell VersaLite rain jacket and rain pants. They're a bit lighter and a bit better. And they keep you drier.
Montbell's been on point for as long as I've known them. So
yeah, I just the problem as a Canadian is you're always ordering from the American website, and how they do their customs isn't very Canadian friendly.
Yeah.
So I always end up paying a huge amount of duties. Like they could do a few tricks, their tarp, tent, sleeping bag, quilt. It's like a slight difference where you can get around a lot of taxation. And I wish they would use some of those principles at the accounting department of Montbell, USA. And speaking
tariffs attack your country, not the others. That's a tip for some of you guys.
I just want to buy more of your gear.
It's actually good for your country's
if you would
taxation, but
if you just slightly change a few things, smudge a little few things, you'll be fine.
We won't raise taxes, but we're going to increase tariffs on our own population.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's an interesting year, all right? It's an interesting year.
Oh, God.
Yes. Interesting times.
So anyways, we're going to talk about this Arcteryx smock.
Yes.
I love
Anorak. Oh, my God. It has this new face fabric on it. Hadron's not a new face fabric. It's just a new variation of it.
Yeah, because Arcteryx usually somehow they have pull somehow, and they usually get to debut. They often will be the first North American company to come out with new technologies. With the Shake Dry, you had Dynafit in Europe, and then you had Arcteryx in North America, and Gore-Tex did their own, but nobody cares about that.
Fucking out dry. Sorry. Still almost okay. Well, actually, no, Shake Dry didn't do that well either. Who am I lying?
I love it.
You love it. You love the Norvin SL.
Oh my God. I use it with a backpack. It's janking around, and I've fallen with it and slid across. It was a wooden bridge, but not a hole.
My friend,
I think it's a lot tougher. They just don't want to warranty it if you're wearing a backpack.
Yeah, my friend, he had jade ass nails because he likes picking his nails, and he said he tried on the jacket and he fucked it. And he ripped the slit in it, and he had to warranty it. And they were super, weird about it. Arcteryx during COVID has been super weird about their warranty policy.
That's too bad because they used to be friggin' great.
I know.
When I worked, I used to sell their stuff quite a bit.
This shirt is actually torn down this arm. I don't know what happened. It was fine, and I washed it, and it came out torn. And I was like, "What the heck?" And I searched in my washer and dryer to make sure there was nothing sharp or anything, but I couldn't find anything. I don't know what.
It might be a pull, right?
I don't know. I think it's just a defect in the fabric right there. It was just I don't know. This is my third Skyline Arcteryx shirt, so I've had really good results with them, especially compared to their other shirts and hiking. They have the other lighter shirt, the Elano or whatever. But I still find their slightly heavier Skyline, a half an ounce heavier, 20 grams heavier.
I did want to say the in the corner I have a Gamma MX, and I've had that since 2006.
Gammas are really good.
Oh my God, such a great jacket. I love the fact that I could reach over my head with my long arms, and it wouldn't show everybody my belly button.
They're very long. Protective. If you have a long body or long arms, they're great for that.
But I had a hole start to appear in the back of the hood a couple of years ago, and I'm pretty sure if they were from what I know of them in the past, I've been involved from the sales position. I've been involved with warranties for people that have worn holes through their jackets and gotten warranties, even like
Oh.
almost a decade after.
Yeah, no, they're really great for that. You
but
don't
really hard use. And anyway, so I was like, I remember saying to Melanie, it might have been 3 years ago, and I was like, I could probably get this warranted from Arcteryx. She's like, why don't you? And I'm like, well, because this one is one of the Canadian-made ones, and because I really like the fog gray color, and so I'm just gonna keep it and wear it out. But
it's kind of nice. I don't know.
I kind of like when things look ratty.
I have a sewing machine. You want me to fix it for you, buddy?
Yeah, let's get ratty. Well, okay, I can sew. I'm not as good as you, but I can sew.
Yeah.
I could get it.
Thankfully, someone taught me when I was younger. I'm very happy for that, actually.
Yeah.
Having some of that skill and then refining it as an adult. So that was nice. But I'm still not very good, and I'm still waiting for a shipment from 2 different companies, like Seattle Outfitters and like.
I bet that's brutal now too.
Like Ripstop by the Roll. I have like.
Oh yeah. No, I tried to order some from Ripstop by the Roll, and things have just been like so out of stock.
Oh no, I mean I was on the email wait list and I got it and I ordered right away. But it somehow bounced back, and then I have to like they're sending it out again, and it's being I don't know. I've had a real trouble. The buzzer's broken in my front of my building.
Oh.
And it's terrible. The landlord doesn't want to fix it, being a weirdo about it. And I don't know. DHL and FedEx lately haven't just. I have my number on it, and I say buzzer broken. Please call. And they never have. And I realize I've talked to a bunch of them. I'm a courier myself, and I talk to them all the time. And they're like 5 to 6 times busier than normal still. Yeah, they're slowing down a bit finally.
I mean, it's still a mixed bag. There's every type of person at the company.
I
used to be in
every company's different too. Like some companies can be slow, and sometimes be busy. It's like the weirdest industry.
But I mean, the people like as an MSC, I remember so I used to actually do for Canada Post. I drove the same vehicles that step vans that the people bringing your packages do, and I was delivering parcels, or which are packages, and it's just our word for them. But I remember when they give you metrics that you need to meet, like times and stuff like that, then sometimes you don't have time for proper customer service. And I would often kind of get a little bit of a look down because I took longer, or because I would hold up the line maybe just a smidge on the returns, like when I was clearing mailboxes, because I would try to get more out during the day. If it was a difficult route, I was also a term. I never had a set route.
How many years do you have at Canada Post?
It was about 4 years.
Wait, you probably have seniority.
Yeah, I actually had as far as I had.
You could pick a big route. You could pick a nice route now.
Well,
not
I
a big
would
route.
as a term.
I like bigger routes myself.
The term seniority is a different pot than the people that are full time.
Yeah, okay.
But I still, but I had enough seniority that I could work full time. But if I needed to go away for a month to go gallivanting, I could.
Yeah.
And I got paid extra as a term because in lieu of benefits, because they didn't give me benefits. But so that's Canada Post. But so yeah, I would I just remember I remember delivering parcels or dealing with situations with individuals or.
And COVID's so much worse.
Yeah, I know it's worse.
You spend so much more time.
I can't even imagine Christmas. I can't even imagine. But
it's the worst. Currying is the worst right now. I have to sign in, write my name, show my identity. Someone has to sign me in an elevator to get up. I can't.
And they're not giving you. I mean.
And I don't know. I get paid. The more trips I can fit into my 8 hours, the more money I make.
For things taking longer.
Now there's a hard limit. I can't pass it. I can't do more than 45 trips anymore because of the time. I can't.
Yeah, you can't do 70 anymore.
I can't do 70 anymore. That's a fact. And
And all they're doing is putting more stuff on the trucks. But I just remember as well, just sometimes it would just be I don't know why some of these guys are doing things this way, and then and that could be either people are over delivering or under delivering.
It's both. It's both. Some people are busy and some people are not, and it's different companies. It's different times. I don't know. It's super weird. I don't know. I miss how things were when I first started and.
Things change.
They change so fast.
Even the trails change.
Trails have changed amazingly fast, actually.
Some for the better, but I miss seeing larger glaciers.
Yeah, I'm super jaded. I just I want to get more people out on the trail, but at the same time I want less people on the trail. It's such a weird contradiction, and I feel like you have to live in that duality to really like I think it betters people's lives in general. I think being outside, seeing wilderness and life, like everything, I think it's really good for your psyche. I think for some reason it's really good for your eyesight. I think there's a reason why there's a lot of people getting glasses
it
today.
Ligaments like muscles, like because they have to deal with the sunlight.
Yeah, and you have to like shrink and see far and close rapidly. Where it was a lot of people are staring at computer screens all day, and a lot of people like we have a crazy amount of glasses like today. Like a lot of people are near and short sighted, and I don't know. I feel really weird because I come from a family that all has glasses. I'm the only one in my entire family doesn't have glasses, and like I don't know. I feel like
maybe it's related.
I think it's probably genetic too. My mom was also lucky. Like, I mean, she had glasses, but she had a lazy eye, so it was like a eye correction.
Yep.
Classes. It wasn't like.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily stigmatism.
Yeah, she could still focus on things properly, but maybe the eye is just looking at something random. Everything's fine, and thankfully I don't have a lazy eye. Thankfully, I didn't get my dad's far and nearsightedness. He can't see anything.
Okay, that sucks.
I know, and it's just getting worse and worse. He's gonna be blind in a few years.
But he works at a computer, though.
Yes, and that's the thing. And I feel like.
I mean, I do now, but not until recently.
I don't know. During COVID, I'm now spending so much time. I'm thinking about getting a nice chair.
I play video games because I'm missing hiking because we weren't allowed to cross country ski last winter because of the pandemic, which was totally bogus. Like
it's so busy.
Oh my god! And we did a little bit, but first my leg was broken, and then when I could finally start doing it a little bit, it was like, nope, you're not allowed to use the trails anymore. If we see your car, only locals. If you walk 30 kilometers to the trailhead because you're local, you can do it. But if you drive there, we'll ticket your vehicle and you're not local. And what did they think was happening? Like I would go. So you were saying you don't like having you like but don't like having new people on the trail, or not new people, too many people on the trail.
Too many people, yeah. I love new people.
Yeah, I actually, the term new and beginner is exclusionary, and we should try to fix that in our practices to be more inclusive.
Really?
According to, the diversity crew that I was telling you about earlier.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, you want to talk about the difficulty, the difficulty of the trail, but not necessarily the experience of the user.
I always thought
I mean,
if you're not willing to look like a foolish beginner, then you're not. You're never going to become a gracious master.
You're never going to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just going
to make those mistakes as fast as you can, as long as they're not life threatening. So don't be like, hey, bear, do you want a human popsicle? Like, but you do want to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wear jeans snowshoeing.
Oh
once.
God.
Just do it. Just do it.
You know what?
Don't do it.
You know what? Just do it once. But if it's a blizzard,
do it in the parking lot.
If it's a blizzard, please don't do it.
Don't do it.
Please just turn around.
Don't do anything that's gonna hurt you.
Yes. You should probably check the weather.
We'll talk about the brutality.
You should get some forecasting apps downloaded. Gaia. You should actually have multiple backups if you're just relying on your phone completely.
Don't rely on your phone completely.
But if you are, you should have multiple things. If you're not, you're screwed.
Go do some orienteering races first, and then
that's a great.
Then you can use your phone.
When I started the Appalachian Trail, is before like Gut Hooks became like the dominant hiking app scene. And like we had, I think it was like Yogi's Guide or something. It was like a book, and then I had another book for like an elevation profile. So I had like these two books, and we like burned pages every night to like save weight. Yeah, and it was yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, but but like I don't know. It like I learned if I can see the sun, I know what direction I'm going in. Like that's it. Like I don't think about it. I just know what direction I'm going in, and I just learned that from that period of time in my life where I was just like,
So you don't hike a lot at nighttime? No.
No, I don't. I don't like night hiking. I've done it a few times. Obviously, if you're hiking the Appalachian Trail, you should be able to find the trail most of the time because the Appalachian Trail is so hiked. The trail is so beaten. But there's also trail sections of old trail that meet with the new trail and then that block off the old trail. But sometimes at night you're like, oh, what's going on? So you get on the old trail. But the old trail eventually meets up with the new trail. But you're also like on a trail that hasn't been hiked in a while, and you're kind of fucked and you're confused and what's going on. That can happen.
And you don't know which way to go when you catch up to the real trail. I mean, usually you do.
No, you just keep hiking because you're like trying to get as much miles as you can because you're like, man, what would be the worst possible thing I could do to myself right now? I'd be like, you know what? It'd be definitely hiking till 12 in the night. You know, that'd be great. So you just do that.
I do it a lot. And I'm usually not that happy about it, but I also have this feeling like I like doing it when I'm not doing it. But anyway,
right? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like
I can be really slow in the mornings when I'm just left to my own devices, and then it's just like I got to make up for this.
Mornings are such a weird thing for me because I am a morning person. Yeah. Like I wake up and I'm not fully awake. Like
you might know that now.
Like I roll out 10 seconds later, I'm fully awake. My girlfriend hates it. She takes like 2 hours to wake up. I like open my eyes. I'm 100% awake. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to fucking roll. Yeah. I don't drink coffee anymore. I don't need to wait for coffee.
I think not drinking coffee helps you be a morning person. Yes. To be honest, in my experience.
100%. And
like doing the working, like having to wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning for work in previous life. That's what I found.
Yeah. Another thing that interests me a lot is longevity. And a lot of studies say like if you drink coffee, you live a longer lifespan. And I've always equated that to just being like people don't really work out their their muscle, their hearts, their cardiac and vascular system. You know, I feel is the most important organ in your body.
Yeah, well, it's a system.
Yeah, I think.
But no, you're right.
I think that determines athletic performance more than anything else.
It's a huge deal. Yes.
I think it's like the number one. If you can drive, if you can make more energy, and I think those things that you were talking about earlier, how you can only absorb so much calories, whatever per hour.
You have different energy pathways. They can be. I
feel like people fluctuate in that department. Some people can absorb a lot. Some people can absorb a little, and and there's an average, and that's what those studies are going off. It's going off the average of what they find. But there's some people that can absorb so much nutrients per hour and have that hiking gene ability, athletic Sherpa ability gene, and they just it makes them into these like crazy level athletes, hikers. And there's this subclass of people that just have these right combination of things that just seem to excel at these extreme levels. And it's something that's fascinated me for so long. And I've met someone who was like on the cusp of amazingness, and I really wish he pursued athletic.
Oh, it sucks when they don't pursue it.
And I mean, you know what? He's in school. He's doing great. He's going to be fine. He's going to get a good job. He's going to be fine. But I feel like he was better than me when I was hiking. We hiked together in the PCT. His trail name was Gringo. I feel like he's taller than me. He had like a little bit better, like I was like, dude, you got it. Like I was older too. I was like, dude, you have it. I can beat like 90% of people. You can beat 99% of people. Like you have it. And I was so disappointed, but also happy for him because he's going to have a real job. He's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. He's going to have a great life.
Of course, yeah. I mean, but I was going to say, like, I can speak to that anecdotally a bit as well. Even when I crapped the bed on my training, I was able to pull things out. And another thing is that by being really fit and dealing a lot with, I would do training targeted towards different energy pathways, but it was all sort of meant to support endurance activity. Yeah. I could go into the gym with proper technique, and I had a really good work capacity for weights, and therefore I was able to see progress really rapidly. And the coordination from my other activities, bike trials is hyper coordinated. That's where you do obstacle course riding on bikes. So I used to do that. So I always had decent coordination. The skateboarding and longboarding are also high coordination activities. But I really do think that it's that the endurance stuff is also massive. At least the way that I was thinking about it, it was huge. Like, it was massive coordination. So that all played into my ability in the gym, and therefore I was able to get faster, accrue my, I was able to get my results fast, and I had a really, I was able to deal with volume, and volume is where you're going to get the majority of your growth. So yeah, I guess I've already started rambling, but
okay.
I agree. Yeah. Cycling back to talking about people coming on the trail, I'm not exactly sure why we got onto that, but I do think that I find that a lot of the time, now maybe it's different when you get out to the States on their long trails, but often the majority of people aren't getting that deep in. So I'm willing to deal with a little bit of extra people on the trail, knowing that if I go far enough, I can have just the right amount of people around. Just enough to maybe die.
I have one recommendation.
Just enough to die.
Never hike the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah?
Never.
Okay.
There's so many people now. It's
I'll probably still do it.
I don't know. There's like 1 million people a year. It's like over 1 million people a year hike that trail now. I mean, for through hiker, that's for like how many people are actually on the trail a year.
Of course, because it's not just, it's a through hike. It's
not
not one trail.
No, it's multiple connecting trails.
That's what a through hike is.
Yeah, and it's obviously it's meant to be one long hike. But a lot of the sections are great. The New York section is wonderful, and like they built a train station just for the Appalachian Trail. It's called the Appalachian Trail Station, and it takes you right into Grand Central Station. And it's this train station in this middle of the road into the middle of nowhere.
Not to the Appalachian Trail, but
the Grand Central Station. Yeah. But if you take the train all the way out, there's a stop really far out. It's the Appalachian Trail Station. It was crazy though, because literally you're like hiking and you got into this road and you pass this road and there's this literally just like a train station, like a really simple one, just like a block garter, and you steps up and you buy a ticket and you just sit there on a bench. But I don't know, it's such a trip because I was like out in the woods for a week, and then you buy a ticket and you go all the way to Grand Central Station.
Yeah, like
just right off the trail, you stink. Like I didn't shower. I smell, and there's a bunch of us too.
This is New York. There's not anything that's weird on the subway in New York, though. Like,
it's true.
Well, okay, I shouldn't say that.
No, you'll see everything. I don't know. Some
things that are weird are common. Maybe
when we got off the train station, we met this couple. And they're like, "Are you guys through hikers?" And we're like, "Yeah, we are." They're like, "Oh man, we hiked the AT in like 2012." And we're like, "Oh, cool." And we're in 2016 or 2015, 2014.
This will be fact checked.
Wow, that's when I hiked it. 2014. Yeah. Time flies. And
time flies when you're doing absolutely nothing.
I know, it's true. But yeah, no, they're like, "Are you guys hikers?" And we're like, "Yeah." And they're like,
How can you tell?
How can you tell? And they're like,
"I blend in seamlessly."
We smell. We all have like ospreys on. Like, I don't know. It's a terrible sight to see.
Yeah.
I'm wearing this terrible Patagonia shirt. I shaved my head because it got too hot. Oh my God. I regret everything. I look like I broke out of youth prison. Like, I was like, it wasn't good. I'll upload some pictures. You can cringe with me.
All right.
And oh man, it's so bad. Where was I going? Yeah, and and they were like, we're hiking the Appalachian Trail, and then they like, you want to go for dinner with us? We're like, sure. And so they took us out for dinner, paid for our dinner. They were so nice, and they told us their story.
Trail Angels.
Amazing.
In the heart of New York.
I know. It was honestly like trail angels everywhere. Like people opening their hearts to hikers and all sorts of travelers. And I feel like if you're on a mission, people will help you out. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So anyways, we probably should finish up on this and then call it a day, eh?
All right. That's a great idea, actually.
So yeah, it's expensive.
Expensive. 500 Canadian. I don't even.
But it only has, I mean, that's more than half a zipper. So it's already getting.
That's a half zipper.
I like 3/4.
For
no,
me,
I like 1/4, 2/5.
You know what I want to see? I just want to see this no pocket and just a longer zipper and just a full length jacket.
Yeah.
It'd probably be the same weight if you eliminate that pocket. I mean, probably my biggest beef with this jacket is it has no pockets. I mean, that's a pocket, obviously.
No pockets are annoying, but they weigh so much weight.
Zippers weigh a lot.
Yeah.
And how much does the sweat jacket weigh again? 209 grams.
It's acceptable. But
Honestly,
it's a 3-ply.
It's a three
It's
layer.
a 3-ply. So that is actually like friggin' amazing.
And it was designed for climbing too. Like it's meant to take abrasions. That's what the face fabric is. The Hadron face fabric.
Yeah, you can rub into some tree bark.
Yeah, you can fucking.
You can't run into like a sharpened stick on the side, like coming out of the. Like
maybe I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
Teflon's pretty tough. Nylon's pretty tough.
I haven't tested this jacket yet, so I couldn't really tell you.
I mean, if you're piercing the jacket, you're probably piercing your gut. But
Well, there's already one review 10 days ago.
Waited all my life for a jacket like this.
I've been waiting for an Alpine cut, super light shell, and this fits the bill. This will always be in my pack. The fit is excellent, similar to the Alpha FL. I like that jacket. Slim body, generous in the arms. Haven't yet taken the jacket out, but very impressed with the weight and so far. I don't know about that grammar. Just kidding.
So
my grammar's terrible.
So like,
he hasn't used it. He actually hasn't used it.
Yeah, that's you can't give me 5 stars.
5 stars. Never used it.
But,
great jacket.
Yeah. Never planning on using it. It's just looks great there in the closet.
I must say, I feel like the jacket.
I'm sure it's a great jacket.
Have you seen? It kind of has like the grid stop X pattern to it.
Yep.
I kind of like the look of it, to be honest. It reminds me of.
I love Anorak's.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like,
I don't know. Some people might not like this look, though. I think some people say it looks less tech, but
who cares?
I mean, I just mean like the Valence crowd.
Okay, the Valence crowd. Yeah, sure.
No, I mean it already says Arcteryx on it. It's not good enough for Valence.
I don't know. I love the Anorak thing. Some of my longest, best running pieces have been Anoraks, and
this is the lightest Anorak I think so far, isn't it?
Your frog tag users will be like, "That's ridiculously heavy," or more than you need.
You always see them in the goddamn ultralight
Always.
comments.
I have frog dog stuff too, and
I have 2 different experiences with frog dogs.
I mean, we're not all hiking the same trails, guys.
It's true.
Like,
I have my friend Austin. He has a pair. It was too baggy, so he like cut down the back and like duct taped up the side and made it like our normal size.
Okay.
And then he used it all through like the AT and then the Appalachian Trail, and then we used it like all the way through the Pacific Crest Trail. And I was like,
sweet.
Holy hell. It's like this. I mean,
the problem is the bagginess gets caught on everything. So that makes sense.
Yeah. And like the insides were kind of getting fluffy. Like the material is.
Oh yeah, it totally does.
Like
that.
delaminating like a shit
Almost
ton.
has a mild insulative quality.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, but it was, I don't know. It was just so weird because he used it for so long. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And like, I had like a week and then it was like destroyed. And I was like, I don't understand. Apparently, Austin Daly is really good at taking care of his gear. So shout out to Austin Daly. Damn, the Lord in Jesus. I'm gonna get a cardboard cutout of him.
Lord Jesus.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you tell where I'm from? New Brunswick. It's true though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm stoked on it. I might even consider trying it out. Who knows? But
if it had a full length zipper, I would have bought it right now.
I like full length zipper in practice, but in theory, I like Anoraks.
I feel like I feel like you always have to take off your pack to put on a rain jacket,
You
no
do.
matter what.
You do. That was my thought. The
Yeah.
problem is when you are trying to procrastinate on taking the jacket off, that's where it becomes an issue, because then you can't unzip it all the way and roll it up and tuck it underneath your backpack straps and at least get part of you cooled down.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of airflow. So, I mean, when you need to take the jacket off, you need to take the jacket off. And then here's my problem. Then do I need to carry a windbreaker? Like I
took the rain jacket windbreaker combo on a lot of hikes.
I just hikes. Like using my rain jacket as my windbreaker, which is why I love the SL, because it breathes pretty good.
Really good.
Like better than anything with urethane in it.
Yeah.
And all the 3-plies, Event doesn't have urethane, but it's still not expanded. I mean, I guess it's probably similar to Event maybe. But Event still has the crappy face fabrics. And so that's the bottleneck for Event. And there's no bottleneck on the straight dry.
I feel like they've already hit their peak too, you know, like what you can do with the water vapor barrier technology. I don't know. It's reached its point, and now we're getting shake dry, out dry variations, which is like it's permanently beating fabrics,
awesome.
It just makes sense.
I love it. It's just
one fabric.
You don't have a warranty.
One fabric.
Not even Arcteryx will warranty it if they see backpack wear. And it'll look like a garbage bag, but it'll work still. Melanie, my partner, she was like, I'm not gonna spend $420 on that jacket just to have it last a week unless I'll wait to see how it is with you, or we'll see if we can find a review. And she found a review. I was looking for one like a month before, and she found it like literally the week it was posted, and this person said that they had done an entire through hike with it, and it was polished to crap, but it worked perfectly, and no reduction in breathability. The water beat it off still.
Wow.
And so
that's
awesome. When she bit the bullet, and she got one too.
Wow.
So
honestly, I might even go that way, because I really want the Arcteryx and Sindu hoodie. It's like a windbreaker hoodie.
Yeah.
I have the Squamish hoodie, and I find it's a little too warm.
I've wanted the Squamish, but
it's too warm.
I'm glad
I don't know. For me, I've been wearing the Patagonia Houdini hoodie. Like it's like the perfect balance. But I
almost bought a Houdini
Arcteryx in Sindu is like, I don't know, like 8 grams lighter and like a sexier fit and feel.
Yeah.
So
it's better for us with big shoulders that are bony.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tall.
Big
bony,
shoulder, but also,
skinny.
but also way too skinny for
But
our
like,
frame.
yeah, you'd be like a 3 point whatever, and then a 4.3 rain jacket. That's like a 7-8 ounce. It's not like for a rain jacket and windbreaker combo. It's like that's the same weight as this jacket right here. Like, I don't know.
I had a Houdini in my shopping cart so many times.
It's such a good jacket. I have 3 of them.
I really wanted the gray and gold one.
I have one of those.
Anorak.
Yeah. I have.
Oh my god, I love that one so much.
It's
these colors.
It's beaten to shit. It's like
good.
It's sad, but obviously I still have it. I have a problem.
It's a happy sad.
I can't sell my gear. I always see these people on geartrade.com or the Gear Trade subreddit.
Yep.
But I can't.
I struggle too.
I can't. I just like accumulate more and more. I just like. I did sell my really expensive Z-Pex tent, but I
still have mine. I mean, I try to give stuff to my family members every once in a while, but
I don't know. I sold it to my ultralight friend who was actually going to use it, so
that's good.
All right. Amazing. Beautiful.
Thank you.
You look proper.
I try.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good.
I mean, you guys have way better attention than we do.
I hope so. I don't know.
Yeah, we really hope.
I hope someone's like walking down the trail one day and listening to this and being like, "What the fuck?" It'd make me happy. I don't know, because I feel like I listen to a lot of random podcasts while I like go down the trail. And I learn a lot of random things. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for joining.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time.
Smash that like button.
subscribe,
hit that bell icon. You know what to do.
Yep.
Smash it.